The use of solar technology is one of the ways public can adapt to the changing climate in Uganda and elsewhere. In our EcoPlus program today, we visited Don Bosco Vocational Training Center in Bombo, Luwero District, where a number of experts in solar energy have been capacitated on solar installation, use, and maintenance. Magdalene Frank is the technical advisor for solar energy in the Austrian government development program that is sponsoring the training.
Our program is called Gender Matters for Green TVETs. So the program focuses on green energy, but also on a gender-sensible way of combining these two topics, gender and environment, green energy. The organization I'm working for, it's called Jugend eine Welt. It's an Austrian NGO. And Jugend eine Welt, they have many projects, and we always work together with the Don Bosco Solutions. So with the 2 vocational training centers in Uganda of Don Bosco, there's already a long relationship between our organizations. So that's why we implemented this project here. Today we are at one of the vocational training centers of Don Bosco in Bombo, because since 2 weeks, or now it's the 2nd week, we are organizing a training of trainers, a TOT, meaning the teachers of the different vocational training centers teaching solar energy and electrical. They are now here. So the teachers from Palabek, from Kamuli, and also the one from Bombo, they are now here. And we have a training in improving our knowledge about solar technology. Of course, all of them are already experts, but since the technology is also changing a lot, we try to keep updated, and that's why we are offering this training right now. And in addition to the participants of the Don Bosco Vocational Training Centers, we also opened up the training for external people, and they could apply for the training. And so now we have 8 teachers from our centers, but also 10 other people who are working in the solar field, solar technicians, but also solar teachers, who are also participating. For solar energy, especially in Uganda, there is a high potential to use solar energy, because the time of solar energy or of light is quite high. So we can use, there's a lot of energy which can be used. And already I think this sector is developing very fast. You can see there are a lot of solar companies coming. But the challenges for solar energy is the right installation, so the know-how of the technicians to do the right installation, the right sizing, and also operation and maintenance. So there's a little bit of maintenance which you have to do when you have a solar system, so that the system keeps running and doesn't break down.
Onyango Fred is the technical advisor for the solar project and training being held at Don Bosco Vocational Training Center.
Solar is basically energy that we trap from the sun. There are different categories. We have solar that we use for lighting homes, and then we have solar that we use for heating. That is under solar thermal. Now, under the solar for lighting, we are basically looking at how we can build the capacity of technical instructors, since they are the most people who interact with the younger people or the technicians who go to interface with the public in implementing some of these installations. And previously there have been a lot of complaint from the public that solar does not perform well, which is true, because the people who buy the solar components, the people who design the solar components, and the people who install them are basically having very little knowledge and skills about how to do this well. Because when you look at other countries, these solar systems are doing very well. but it is because the people who do them, they have enough knowledge and skills about them. So we train instructors from different technical institutions about how they can basically design a best solar system for a client basing on what the client have. And before that, they understand how the conversion is done from the sun to the solar and then to electrical energy. So we look at designing solar system for clients in all sizes, from solar home system to grid-tied systems. We look at installing how to do better or the best installation for clients without having a number of losses in the system. And then also how to do maintenance and troubleshooting that in case there's a problem with the solar system, how can a technician easily know that the system has a problem at this point and what caused the problem, and how do we rectify this problem, and then how do we avoid this problem from occurring in the next time. And then also now, like specifically for this training that we are having this time, we have incorporated remote monitoring. Now the system has a monitoring device. As you can see, the Sabo GX, it shows us how much energy the PV is generating from the roof and how much the loads are consuming. If the loads are on, how much they are consuming, and then how much is charging the battery. Or at some point, like now, if the weather is bad, you realize that what the PV is generating, everything is going to the loads. But when the loads are increased, eventually now the battery comes in to support. That's why you are seeing a negative 10 watts from the battery side. Now, we are using a 10 kilowatt hour battery bank of lithium type, BYD brand, because for them their depth of discharge is higher, and we can at least discharge it for some good percentage, and also they can last for more than 10 years. Now the steps that one should put in mind to have the best solar: one, you need to get the right person who understands the solar system to design for you the solar system, and also to be part of buying for you the components, because the components is another problem on the market. If you just go downtown on the streets, people import equipment, solar equipment, which are substandard, and eventually they may fail to meet your requirement. So it is very important to identify a good technician or solar engineer who can design for you a solar system. On a personal basis, I have designed solar system that you can use for anything. You can use for welding, you can use for ironing, you can use for lighting. So at some point, the experience with solar, I can say that solar can do anything depending on what you can do, what you can afford as a person. It is your pocket that can limit you, or it is your pocket that sometimes say that solar cannot do this or cannot do this. But solar does everything, because if you want to heat water, you may not use solar PV for heating, but then you can employ solar thermal for heating, where you have a complete system with the solar collector, you have the storage tank, and then you're able to heat water directly from the from the sun. And then if you want for lighting, eventually now you will need to have someone who can understand your energy demand. He can analyze your loads and can get for you a system that can really manage your energy demand as per your needs. The commonly made mistakes are having a small system and you want it to power everything. They design for your system, they install for your system for maybe lighting, but later you are buying a TV, you're putting into the system, you're buying a bigger radio, you're putting into the system, you're coming with the laptops, computers, you're putting into the system. These are things that solar does not want. And also when it comes to the storage component of the solar system, that is the battery bank, it is one thing which needs serious protection against it being overcharged by the solar panels, because the solar panels does not have brain. Whenever the sun is there, it will continue sending power to the battery. So the battery needs that component, that guide, that can monitor it and to see that the battery is now full. Let me limit what is coming from the solar panel. Otherwise, if you leave each and everything from the solar panel to come to the battery is going to get spoiled very fast. And also, when you overdrain your battery by the loads, that is to say, putting many loads into the system than what it was designed for, eventually that also will spoil the battery very fast, and eventually the solar system will go off. It is always recommended that when you are designing a system or a solar system, you design the solar system with the month which has the lowest insolation. For example, around now this month, you're seeing that the sun peak, the time that we receive sun is very small. So we design a system basing on the worst month or the rainy season, such that your system is able to support you even during that months with the low sun radiation. And then during the other months when the sun is more, you will be harvesting more. But also, there are normally recommendations that if a client can afford, you can put more days of autonomy for the battery, that your battery can still support your loads for maybe 2-3 days, even when the solar has not generated any single power. So it is another way how you can have solar during these bad months with low solar insolation. The gender issue comes in a way that previously you realize that female gender were not taking so much part into the technical field, either electrical, solar, whatever. They say that those are male courses. But then this female gender, they are also the most people who normally interface so much with cooking, heating of water, boiling water for home usage. So we are bringing in gender in a way that, one, what a man does, a woman can do. And when it comes to the technical part of it, female genders can also design a solar system, because it doesn't need you to lift something heavy. You can sit down on your laptop, you design a system and then you can do consultancy work. Most female genders nowadays, they can also climb on the roof and install this system. So we are trying to find a way of bringing this female gender into the technical aspect, such that they know that they can also do. And when they do, they are also able to bring these practices into the homes to see that which best practices, if I need to use a clean energy, which source of energy do I need to use at my home to make sure that we are using something which is not harmful to the environment. So this is basically why we are bringing in the gender aspect. As a technical person, I can beg the viewers to always look for competent technicians to design for them good solar systems, and with this I can assure them that they can never regret, because as we are moving on, we are looking into how you can dry your cereals, how you can dry your fruits with solar without having any pollution attached to the cereals and to the fruits. So just look for a competent person who can do for you the good work, and you enjoy the energy, the free energy from God, and you only wait to thank God by paying their tithe.
Some of the beneficiaries give us their experience of the training.
We've benefited a lot from this training. First of all, we are teachers. Most of us are teachers. So this is an opportunity for us to gain more skills, because what we are doing here is what we did last week was all about designing a system for this community. And I believe in the process of us doing the hands-on, we've gained a lot of skills that I believe we are going to take back to our students when we happen to go back to the respective institution that we work for. So really, this is a great opportunity for us, because it is a TOT, a training of trainers. So these people have really equipped us with knowledge and skills, because when you look at the system that we designed, some of us had never seen remote monitoring, whereby for the system that we designed, we are in position to monitor the system, you monitor the inputs, and you monitor the output from wherever you are. So it was really a great chance. We learned that you can design a system and also do remote monitoring. When I was young, we go through a lot of hardships. So I joined some community polytechnic somewhere. And then when I joined there, I was helping them in math. And then later I discovered and saw what they were doing. Most of the times we lack guidance. So we look at going for A level, going for university, but when you really don't know what you're going for. So when I was supporting in math, I saw that there are those hands-on courses that someone can do. So in that due course, I joined electrical. So I went to school, I did my diploma in electrical. I went back and did technical teacher education in still electrical. And currently I'm doing my bachelor's in electrical. So I believe this is really a great opportunity for us, mostly us ladies. I really see that we can do something, we can go somewhere. And to that, I encourage my fellow ladies and say, we should never look at ourselves as inferiors. I believe we can do something. We can take the world or to the country to some other level, because I believe most of the ladies, though even the men may be having it, we have that kind of integrity. We really want to do what we are supposed to do. Promoting environmental conservation, really, I don't think like we've been doing a lot, but I believe we can do something to improve on the environmental conservation. Because now, if we are moving to solar, some of the activities like cooking, lighting, we shall not be cutting firewood. We shall be using the harvest from the sun to do a number of activities in our homes. If someone is capable to raise some good money and start up a system that can allow the person cook, because I believe the system we put, they can cook. So, but most of the times it is because of the finances that will limit you. But if you have the money, you can design a system and you can even use it for cooking, and you leave the firewood alone.
I have just come here to get some skills as far as configuring the solar systems is concerned. Gone are the days we have been relying on just wiring these systems, but without connecting them to the grid, or what you may call the grid-connected PV systems, so that also when the batteries fail, electricity can come in and help. So that's why I'm here, to get that knowledge on how I can configure SC together with the PV or energy got from the mother sun. The few days I've been around this way in Bombo, the experience what I've got first of all is how to configure these systems using the different types of connections on market. For example, the EV direct, EV can, EV configure, all those applications, I have learned them, and at least I've got something which I can try to take back in Kamuli, where I come from, and I impart it to the students also so that they can learn it. The gaps which I have identified in using solar is people in the community, they lack technical know-how about solar. And solar in the communities, it is being carried out by the freelancers, whom you can call the Kavnyufu in the local language. So we need to go back in the community so that we can bring the awareness, we can train the local people carrying out some small installations, the guide and how best they can install these solar PV systems.
As it has been said, use of experts in installation of solar panels can help you benefit more from it.